There's a lesson in marketing and sales and actually in business that we can take from boxing. Now, I am not a boxer, although I'd like to think I have a left-right good night in the tank. I'm actually a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so I'm anything but good at striking. But there's a lesson in here, and if you let me teach it to you, all of your strategy on social media will not just perform better, it will give you a better understanding of what you should be doing on a daily basis. This is a punch bag. I'm not actually going to use these wraps. Just putting them away, set the scene. If any of you out there are competent boxers, please forgive me for what I'm about to do. In boxing, we have a jab. Now, the jab isn't really ever going to knock anyone out, so people therefore think it's not a good punch. When people get into a street fight, you can tell how much fighting experience they have with which punch they throw first. Most dudes think, right, this is my knockout hand, they're getting it straight away. It's probably the most predictable punch ever to see coming in a fight. They come walking in, but the jab is often what sets up the cross. The jab is what sets up the hook. The jab is what sets up everything. So the jab isn't used to knock people out, although it can happen rarely. The jab is used primarily to set up what is to come. The jab represents things we do on social media and in content creation where we are trying to set someone up. Now, we're not trying to hurt them, we're not trying to stun them. What we're trying to do is to have something as a prerequisite to the thing we actually want to throw, which is a call to action in content. We could argue that if I try a call to action too soon in a fight, it's too predictable, we've not buttered them up at all. The main strategy that we want in social media is to accrue goodwill. And the way we accrue goodwill is through jabbing. It's through putting out loads of bits of content, whether it's reels, YouTube videos, blogs, emails, whatever it is. We want to keep jabbing, and the more we jab, the better we are setting up the right hook. So many people on social media, the second they start throwing rights, and the rights aren't getting through. And they start to think, oh, maybe it's the punch, maybe it's the way I'm throwing it, maybe I need to go for an overhand. It's not. It's the fact you're not setting up your content well enough. Most competent boxers, before any fight, will have their guard up. Everyone on social media is doing the same. They know you are trying to sell them something, similar to like when someone comes into the duty free when you're looking at aftershave. Can I help? No thanks. We say no thanks, even though we do want aftershave or perfume. That's why we're in duty free in the first place. Truth be told, if we were to find a scent and we loved it and we vibed with it and went, oh my God, that's amazing, we're walking out with it. But our first reaction when someone says to come and assist us, we're like, no thanks, leave me alone. That's what the majority of people are doing to you in the world of social media. They potentially do want what you're selling, but you're gonna have to do some convincing first. Me, when it comes to fighting, Declan, street fights especially, it's good to throw a combination that people can't defend. You ready? Can't defend it. 2 punches, 1 kick. You ever seen someone defend that? Of course you haven't. It's Wing Chun. No Wing Chun? I don't want any trouble. I don't want any trouble. I don't want any trouble. That could kill a man. Do you know what? Maybe don't put that in the edit. All right? That is assault with a deadly weapon, with intent. That. One more time. What's your frame rate at? Is it going to capture it?
Oh yeah.
You sure?
Oh yeah.
Look, if you need to change the frame rate...
Sorry mate, you're right.
Which is done. Let's go back upstairs. I know it can sometimes seem like I continue to repeat myself in videos, but I like to remind you that this isn't always about educating people, it's about reminding people. There might be things that you know, but you need to be reminded to actually do it. Like some of you still don't have an email list, even though for literally years, 2018, I've been telling people you need an email list. There's a 4-stage system in which we must take this principle of the jab, jab, right hook and apply it. So stage 1, social media, brand awareness, etc. One of the reasons that I love a hybrid model for a lot of coaches to be doing some in person and some online is that it gives you a lot more patience to build and create an audience. Similar to farming. When it comes to farming, again, you can tell, I don't know much about boxing, I don't know much about farming, but I've watched 3 seasons of Clarkson's Farm, so let's get into it. We must plant the seeds, allow the crops to flourish, and then we must harvest the acres of the crops. Farmers will wait 9 months to a year to do so, yet you think, I've been posting for 3 weeks on social media. Why haven't they bought my stuff yet? We must have a patient approach to it. So what I would say in the onset is to just focus on accruing goodwill by putting out jabs. I want people to be watching your content going, oh my God, this is so good. This should be illegal. This is so good. Why isn't this person even asking me for money? Why isn't this person trying to sell to me? Back in the day, I used to be a dirty dog, and this was my system for getting laid. If, as a gentleman on the first date, I try and sleep with a woman, that can set me back 4 dates, sometimes 5. A true gentleman doesn't try and sleep with the lady on the first date because he knows if he's not too pushy, if he's genuinely there to make a connection, to get to know someone, to get to share his energy with that woman, that maybe he could get the on date 2 or 3. What am I saying? I'm saying if you are too pushy in the onset, you are pushing the sale further down the line. By being less pushy in the onset and focusing more solely on give, when it comes to take, you will perform a lot better and it will work a lot better for you. And if I'm going to share business advice, I might as well share personal advice. Sometimes as a gentleman, you do try and abstain from trying to sleep with someone on the first date, but human nature can get the better of you. So I would only recommend attending that first date without a loaded gun, if you gentlemen know what I'm saying. But don't too close to a date, because then you have a high chance of cancelling it. Everyone knows what it's like. It's 2 p.m, you think, I've got a date tonight, I'll just have a little Tommy Tank. Next minute, 3:30, you're having an afternoon nap going, I'm not even interested in going on that date tonight. Could play Call of Duty Warzone instead with the boys, and that explains the majority of my 20s. Anyway, where were we? Stage 2. The call to action that primarily all of us want to be using in stage 1 social media brand awareness is to get someone's contact information. The best contact information we want from them is probably going to be email marketing. So it's a shame for us to do all of these jabs to then come in with a bad hook. So we need to ensure for that hook to land on the chin correctly that we are offering value with those emails. It isn't enough to just say, please join my newsletter. There's a principle we know called WIFM, what's in it for me. We must play into that WIFM. Good friend of mine, Lucy Lord, on Instagram, has 150,000 followers. Very good friend of mine and an even better baker. We're talking this morning, she's saying to me, I'm not sure about my product, my offer, what I'm gonna sell in 2025. I'm like, hold on. Before we worry about that, the actionable task we should be doing now is growing an email list. So we need to start putting out content. I said, what are you going to give people for their email address? She goes, I was thinking of giving them some free recipes. I was like, come on. It's 2025 and you're trying to give people free recipes. A recipe is just the combination of food that you've put together to make a meal. The fact people buy recipes blows my flipping mind. If you were to ask me the question, James, do you want some fruit? No, I don't want free recipes. I said to her, let's work back from real problems that people are facing in your audience. I said, look, you have a primarily cooking-based business. The majority of people probably like following you and watching your contents of the recipes, not because they're planning on making them, but they like watching that food get created. They like the food porn of seeing that chocolate brownie or those air fryer roast potatoes or that whatever it is. People just enjoy seeing food made well. Me, when I'm feeding my baby, sometimes I'll put on something of someone cooking a tomahawk steak, and when they cut through the steak at the end and they squeeze it, I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. I said to Lucy, how about this as part of your email autoresponder series? Why not tell people what the settings on the oven do, what trays they need, what papers they use for baking, what temperatures are good to cook things at? Do they need a stainless pan? Do they use Teflon? All the things that I don't know. Instead, why not make your email series something that can break down every single barrier someone has between just watching the recipes and actually taking part in them? Don't give them free recipes, give them the tools to bring them closer to cooking or baking for the first time. Because Declan, have you ever baked a brownie? Exactly. I don't bake, I'm rubbish at cooking, but if you were to empower me with the tools to understand things, I could then go into the kitchen and go, babe, want me to preheat the oven to 200 on the fan setting? She'll go, oh my God, how do you know that was a fan setting? Oh, I've been reading Lucy Lord's emails. They've been telling me that I need to be using this paper, whatever. Then before you know it, I'm 11 emails deep into a free newsletter that I only joined to get the information away from Lucy, and I'm now thinking for my girlfriend's birthday, I might bake her some brownies. Those emails could pertain such value that it could influence my habits of the way that I perceive my life and who I am and what I can do as a person. The next thing you know, I'm in the kitchen cooking. Suddenly, when it's someone's birthday or someone's leaving a work thing or whatever it is, I'm now a different person. Instead of shopping Amazon, I'm thinking about what things I could bake for someone or cook for someone or make for someone. Actually, case in point, I went down a rabbit hole of watching a video of how to cook the perfect steak. And let's just say that the steaks I've been cooking at home are so good that even my missus's parents came round and entrusted me in doing the steaks on the barbie. There's a system, but I'll tell you another time. So what I'm saying is, socials, yes, jab, jab, right hook. But if you want to make that right hook be as effective as possible, make sure that your call to action isn't a give, give, give. It's a let me give you some more value, but the place I'm going to give you that value is in the form of email marketing where I can have a conversation with you. Because similar to getting laid, trying to have that conversation with someone on social media is like a dance floor. People are with their friends, the music's really loud. Doof, doof, doof. Hey, where are you from? Do you want to get a drink sometime? Whereas when we can take that conversation and bring it to email marketing, it's opposite, one-on-one, quiet room, lovely setting. We hit the value in the emails because those jabs don't stop. It is jab, jab, give me your email. email, 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 email. Some people might need to be jabbed for 10 months before they buy your product. Then the call to action, which should be in every email, is visit my landing page or my sales page. We can't just make it all about buying the product at stage 1 or stage 2. Stage 3, we're still not there saying, give me your money. Stage 3, we still need to jab them a little bit more. These jabs can be a bit more accurate. What it is, why they need it, what they get, how much it costs, why to trust you. They're the 5 stages that need to be on any sales page and in your sales video. Then the final right hook at the end, buy now, not a sales call. At this point, you have set people up for success. Content, accruing goodwill, changing the way people see about things, being an all-round good cunt on social media. Boom, give me your email address. Email, value, 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 mindset perspective, change of thought. Boom, visit my landing page. Landing page, what it is, more about the product, what they get, how much it costs, why it costs that much, why they should trust you. Here's some testimonials. Here's a money-back guarantee. Fucking give me your money, cunt. It shouldn't really be that. It should be buy now. They're the stages. There needs to be combinations that are set in place between the beginning of the journey and back down. Because the majority of people are just running in with this massive haymaker going, buy my shit. And people are like, fuck off, mate. Whack. And if you can follow that structure, honestly, it will give you so much more to do on social media. For instance, this video has no call to actions in. No, please click my link in the description. Well, there's a bit of reverse psychology there, Declan. They might end up going to the link in the description. In fact, I'm just jabbing, I'm walking away. Don't need to be throwing this bad boy today. It's done enough damage. We're talking of damage. If you like this video, you'll absolutely love this one. And I'll tell you what you're supposed to do on YouTube is have an introduction and a hook to your video. You have some kind of setup, you have some kind of payoff. Then at the end of the video, you're supposed to open a new hook. Wouldn't it be interesting if the email marketing could be, and then you're supposed to point to a video that pays off that hook? But what I do is I actually get YouTube to recommend a video, because rather than me trying to create some complex infrastructure of go to this video, I just point to what YouTube recommends, because it's chances are it's a video you've not seen. And I promise, if you do watch this one, I won't teach you anything about boxing. So click that. Whack.